Hello and welcome to the Yalta Boys YouTube. I am Iako, one of the three players. Today I'm going to be doing a 1v1 between me playing a ranked game and my opponent, who I found through random matchmaking. The opponent will be playing the OKW and I'll be playing US Forces. So before I get the game started off here, just an introduction about the channel. So it's the Yalta Boys is three of us. And we primarily play Company of Heroes 2, but we also play other games on Steam, usually military simulation games or RTS games, and we just like to record our content and share it with you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm going to be casting my game here today, as I said earlier. This game was very intense when I played it. It was back and forth, so there's going to be plenty of good action here. Standard US opening. I started with one squad of riflemen. My rears are over there, capping the points with my base. My riflemen are pushing up to the middle where they're about to confront a squad of assault pioneers there. And I'm going to garrison a nearby building so I can get that good cover. However, an interesting play happens here where somehow these assault pioneers will end up winning the fight if you guys watch. But he put his guys up really close and they were able to burst down my riflemen somehow. When this happened, I was really confused, but I guess that's how the game works. I don't think all the riflemen can shoot through that angle because there's only one window, but anyways, I bring up my other rifleman squad as a reinforcement. My rears are over there taking fire as well. Looks like, see, my enemy retreats these assault pioneer squads, and so far in the middle it's about a stalemate. However, it looks like I'm going to take the initiative and take down these assault pioneers, and they retreated as well. And in that first fight, he didn't lose much, right? He lost one man from each squad, but what he did lose was a lot of time, and he's about to lose the center as well. I'm going to have time to get my guys dug in. I'm going to have time to cap the points, drain his tickets a little bit. So he's losing an okay amount of manpower, nothing too crazy. It's just the amount of time lost. These guys have to retreat back to base. They have to be reinforced, then come back. And by then, I'll have this captured, situated. So just always keep in mind here, when you lose a skirmish, it's not only what you lose as units, it's also what you lose as time. You're losing time capping points, assaulting enemy positions. These soldiers are effectively dead for the next 10 seconds, right? So just one thing to consider before you go into any engagement. What is really lost? I'm going to restart, play the game back again. If you look, I have an ambulance on the way. That's why I haven't retreated this two rifleman squad. Because, one, they're by my base. They're safe. And they're also going to cap this point. And when this ambulance comes, I'll be able to reinforce them. That's what's really nice about the US Forces. That ambulance is probably one of my favorite units of theirs. It's so strong in being able to just reinforce guys on the front lines, and you're not losing precious time running back to base. So that's one thing the US Forces have that's really nice. Looks like he's coming back to assault in the middle again, this time with some Volksgrenadiers. While he's doing that, I'm going around and just capping these with my rear echelon forces. Although these guys only have two squad mates, they're still good for capping points, and I noticed that he wasn't playing his left side of the map, and if you see here, if I pause the game, he has not capped anything on this side of the map. He's actually been forcing all of his units on the right side, so obviously I'm going to avoid him and go here and cap these 3 points, sit on them as long as I can, generate those resources, drain his tickets. So just always take the initiative in these kinds of games where your enemy is not, you can send one squad out there just to cap those points, and that's free resources, free tickets that you can just claim while he's not paying attention. But as you can see, he sent his entire force to the middle. This rifleman squad is going to probably retreat because this is just a lost fight. But what I do have here is once these are reinforced, I'm going to be able to push up here and start retaking the center again. So I'm going to start playing it again. Riflemen are stuck inside the building. Yeah, they are getting bursted down. So by now, let's see, when do I retreat them? Yeah, that was a very, very poor retreat on my part, very late. And that's going to cost me a rifleman squad, which is a huge hit at this point in the game. And this also is a poor decision on my part, not retreating these riflemen and keeping the ambulance there. I'm going to end up losing this rifleman squad in a very, very sloppy play, and my ambulance could be lost as well. And it looks like... Is it going to escape? I don't remember if I actually escaped, but we'll see. Alright, so my ambulance did escape, but what you just saw is one of the sloppiest plays of the entire early game. I lost 2 squads entirely trying to put, and he's also capping the center. So I lost a sector of the map. He's also taking my right side, and I just lost 2 of my infantry forces. This is a huge blow in the early game, and just very, very awful play and sloppy play on my part. And obviously, I'm going to have a lot of catching back up to do. By saving grace, however, is I do have the left side of the map pretty captured up to about the halfway point. So that means I'm not entirely choked off from resources, but he is still moving forward on the right side of the map. So overall, have a lot of work to do. So let's play this up again. I'm going to speed it up just a tiny bit so we can things can start to go places. So these rear echelon squads are all I have left at the moment compared to his army of 4 squads. At the moment, he really has an iron grip on the game, but Rifleman squad comes out and they're going to confront these Assault Pioneers. And one thing about Assault Pioneers is those weapons they have are primarily close to medium range weapons. My Riflemen here clearly have the edge, 5 squad mates per squad, but also just the longer range of this Rifleman engagement is the way you want to engage this, because these guys will destroy you at close range. So what we want to do here is engage from as far of a distance as you can, not too far because Riflemen are medium distance units, but just one thing I did here to ensure that I win this skirmish, and so far it's going in my direction. Ambulance is set up, so even if these guys lose a squad mate, I have the advantage here as I'm fighting basically in my base. He retreats the Assault Pioneers, killed half the squad. Good gain so far. I lost no Riflemen engaging them, and I'm going to start capping this munitions and this rear echelon. Notice how he is starting to cap my left side. He decaps it, however he doesn't finish the cap, which is interesting. I think he's going to send these 2 squads to engage my Riflemen, or my rears over here. But we'll see what happens. But he's still not really capping the left side of the map. He could send his Kubelwagen over there, just something, right? Because I'm not really, well, actually, no, he's capping his left side of the map. This is a sloppy play on his part. Him leaving this left side of the map uncaptured while he could have capped it the entire game, in my opinion, was a bad decision. While he didn't make a good push and capture most of my map, he still could have captured this and this side had he played it correctly. But, well, we'll see what happens next. So playing the game again. Notice how I'm pushing over my ambulance here. However, I am keeping it kind of a safe distance away. But one thing I don't notice is that, let me switch the perspectives here. He did not see my rears until they moved us a bit forward. All he sees right now is just my rear echelons. Here, let me switch to the Fog of War. All he sees are my rear echelons, right? He doesn't know about the Rifleman back here. So he thinks he has this easy fight, right? He does have a big advantage, even if my Riflemen do come to engage, however. So, good decision by him to push here. Then I take these Riflemen up. I just want to finish capping this point, so I keep my rear echelons there a bit longer. Moving the ambulance back up so they can reinforce.
Mechanized mortar carrier is now ready for action.
And my other Rifleman squad is ready to go. Ambulance is getting hit a little bit. Other Rifleman squad comes to help. Now notice in a engagement such as this one, what I'm doing with these 2 squads is, you guys probably already do this, but anyway, just to kind of like burst down one squad faster, what I do is I select these 2 squads, and then obviously you can see one squad has 3, one squad has 5. You can see which one I'm bursting down, right? This 3 squad one, I'm bursting down so I can kill it quickly, and then I'm going to burst this one next. So I'm focus firing each squad individually rather than just A-moving and having my soldiers shoot at, whatever is closer. Because and in this situation, it's better to focus all the damage on one squad than to spread it out amongst the 2. So we're going to play it back again and send my rear echelons to repair the ambulance. My other Rifleman squad coming in to support, and I'm still focusing firing that squad. Now notice how you saw those Riflemen move forward, right? Which, what was going on is I right-clicked this squad to focus fire it. However, once they retreated, I quickly hit the S button, the stop command. So these Riflemen don't chase them and get shot by these guys. One thing you have to pay attention to is when you right-click a squad with your units is you really want to be aware when that squad retreats that they're focusing, you want to stop all their orders and and reorder them to do something. Because if my riflemen went chasing this squad, these guys would have easy pickings, right? They'd be able to shoot my riflemen without getting shot at because they were focus firing the retreating squad. So just using the stop button, very useful hotkey. Learn to memorize your hotkeys. S is to stop, R is to reinforce, some of the basic ones, and then G is grenade. So we're gonna keep going here. And now this fight is nearly mine. I don't know why. He made a mistake just not retreating this right away. These guys were definitely not going to win this fight. And he lost 2 soldiers for literally no reason. So poor decision on his part. And now I'm starting to recapture what I've lost. This is a very strong fighting position. I have 2 riflemen and 1 rear. This is a very... these guys can basically take on any portion of his army, right? And because they have the ambulance there to reinforce, these guys are definitely going to be able to push this home turf really easily. So I'm going to start recapping what was mine. Recap the right side of the map as you see that in the game. So
Infantry attacking in force. Back up to full force.
now what I just got in here is a mortar half track. One of my favorite U.S. Forces units. This thing is very effective fire support. It's very mobile, so you can get it all over the map wherever you need it, and it's also pretty strong in terms of damage. So what I'm doing here is I'm just randomly bombarding just to see, like, obviously I cannot see what's out there, but I'm bombarding because usually around these hay bales you'll have MGs put or rifleman squads put because it's green cover, right, and they can defend this flag. That's why I'm just randomly bombarding, just to scout, see what's there. I also destroyed one of the hay bales, so that's one of his cover sources that he no longer has. So as you can see, he has a heavy clump coming my way. And this looks like... I thought I could kind of win this fight because, I have an ambulance coming, but this is still... While he has the numbers advantage here, he is clumping. Which is not the way you want to play the numbers advantage. Obviously, he's still going to win this fight because I only have 2 rifleman squads. But had I had a bigger army, I would have been able to wipe out that clump really easily. But this is still a poor decision on my part to stay here. I lost another rifleman squad, and I'm back to square one basically, because I just lost both my rifleman squads. Luckily, I still have my support vehicles, but another heavy blow. Because I thought I could win this engagement. I saw 4 squads coming in. I said, okay, it's a clump. Maybe I can get a good mortar shot off or something. But that was a poor decision to keep my riflemen there, and it just costed me 2 squads again. Another poor decision, but not the end of the game still, but definitely another setback. So I'm going to retreat things here. I may lose my ambulance. I don't remember what happens, but mortar's picking off some guys, but... No, okay, so ambulance is okay, luckily. But again, no rifleman squads. I have one building right now, actually. But still another heavy blow by my enemy here. He still hasn't capped this, so my ticket drain isn't that bad, but he has the other 2 capped. So far, this game is really poor from my perspective. He has most of the map covered. He's hoarding all the resources. I have a lot of work to do. Plus, I'm being strangled of resources, of tickets. So just really, this game really has to go into gear. I need to start recapping things. He keeps his clump over here. He starts capping this point. And he's probably going to wait for a counterattack from me. Preparing my support vehicles. Sending in my rifleman squad. Look like they're going to cap this point.
We're losing a capture point.
I start shooting mortars just to see if I can get some easy picks here. Whittle down those squads a little bit, see what I can do. And he has a number advantage here, but what I do have is I have my reinforcement ambulance and I have a mortar squad. Now, he may have 3 squads on me, but this is still a fight that I could easily win if played correctly. So I choose to stick around and engage him here. And mortar is going to kill one squad, one soldier. He starts pushing up pretty deep. Rear echelons are getting reinforced. Nade goes off. He just retreated one squad, and that mortar made him retreat the other one. So I've won this fight so far, and from winning this fight, it's gonna allow me to recap this right side of the map again and start pushing the game in another direction. He's still keeping his assault pioneers here, or stern pioneers. I don't know why he would, because this fight is clearly won for me and lost for him. So we're gonna see what happens to those guys. Keeps them there, which is a poor decision. He's gonna go over there and start capping this Vic point. Mortar's gonna go off. Mortar hits close by, and these stern pioneers are getting whittled down quickly. There goes one guy down, and notice how him choosing to stay literally got him nothing. He didn't capture the Vic point. All he's gonna do is lose time, because what he could have did is retreated the stern pioneers with the rest of his squads, and then by then when he came to push next, he could push with all three instead of just two. So that was a mistake on his part. He also just lost one squad member. Not a big deal, but again, he's losing time here and a bit of manpower to capture nothing. So another mistake by him, and I'm going to capitalize on it and start capping the right side of the map again. Meanwhile, on my base, Lieutenant Squad is out, so I've updated to the next tech tree. And this game is starting to slowly go in my direction. Obviously, I still have plenty of work to do. I'm very far behind in terms of tickets. But this game is still anyone's game. Here he's going to start building his Schwer. The headquarters with the gun mounted on top. Schwerpanzer. What this does is right now, effectively, these three flags are cut off from my capping, it's a good decision for him to put this Schwer here, because he basically has this sector of the map on lockdown. That's 3 free points, and that eliminates a flanking route for the middle point as well. So by putting this Schwer here, a good decision. It's still close to his base, so it's easy to defend. Solid decision by my enemy here. Meanwhile, over here, I'm going to still keep capping the right side of the map. Not much going on this side of the map. He's going to start moving his Kubelwagen towards the center, it looks like, and his stern pioneers. Over here, lieutenants are just shooting at these squads. Mortar's going to land, not going to kill any units, but still good to zone them out. So far, very good trades between us. I've lost no squad mates. Oh, just lost one. He's lost two. He's going to retreat one. See, these lieutenants, lieutenant squad, I had right-clicked that one, as you saw, and they started following him. They came a little bit out of the cover. Luckily, I stopped them, but had they kept walking, I would have lost probably another squad mate or two, just because they would have been walking into this line of fire and also this MG. So good thing I stopped them in time. Meanwhile, these riflemen are going to heal up and capture the fuel, and I'm starting to get a foothold in the right side of the map. Back at my base, I just built an M20 utility car. While the gun on this isn't that strong, it's a good strong 50 cal, but this thing offers nice vision, nice range, and nice fire support. And it's also a pretty good meat shield for bullets. You know, it's a distraction. The enemy sees this and he has to think, okay, I have to kill this armor ASAP. So it's a good way to take shots. M20 utility car. I probably build one every game. One of my favorite units, and they're very cheap too. So we're going to see how this helps me in this next push. Notice how bunched up his units are here and how spread out mine are. His Kubelwagen right next to his MG, right next to his Panzergrenadier. This mortar, pretty cool. I caught it pause actually. That's cool animation there. But anyway, this mortar is going to land right on these guys. Him clumping is just catering to my mortar here, which is going to start getting just free kills. And this rifleman squad is getting healed up. These guys are suppressed, but luckily they're right next to my ambulance and they'll be able to reinforce. This M20 utility car, watch how I use it later as a flanking device. This M20 is going to make a pretty aggressive push, and then I realized his Schwer is there. While this would have been a good flanking maneuver, had his Schwer not been there, I could have went around to behind the MG team and, you know, taken him out. His Schwer, however, stopped that, so this flanking maneuver is Well, it's moot now. I can't do it, but that's also a lot of damage on my M20. It looks like it's gonna go down, but it doesn't, and it escapes. But at the same time, this thing's basically out of commission now. It's at low health. I can't keep it there. Panzerfaust could take it out. Small arms, this machine gun has AP bullets, could take it out too. So this pushing out my M20 there was a poor decision, and I basically lost it for the time being. So I'm going to retreat that. Big mistake here that he's making with this squad is look how far he's pushing them. Obviously, he's trying to come in here and get a grenade toss, but by pushing these guys up here, it makes them very vulnerable. They're getting shot at by 2 squads and the M20 as it's retreating. You also have the mortars, so poor decision by him here. Grenade goes off, just a flame grenade. However, it's only going to kill 1 squad mate. These guys, I did not retreat because I can reinforce them here. And because I haven't captured this flag yet, I'm going to disembark this crew members on the flag so I can cap it and then repair the M20 utility car. So far I'm able to recover from some poor decisions, and this battle is I still have the upper hand because I have the reinforcements. I also have the mortars that are getting really key kills. Trying to get these riflemen out of suppression. Mortar's gonna land. No kills, but good to zone out these troops. Machine gun's pushing up. This is a very, very poor decision right here, and you're gonna see it's gonna cost him dearly. Mortar misses. So he's gonna try to set up his MG there. He's able to suppress 1 squad, but what I'm able to do here is, I know his Ver is there, right? But what I can do is I can send my M20 behind these trees, and I can lay down some suppressing fire on the MG. Luckily, he's going to retreat, but still, he's suffering damage to his squad. Half their health is gone. 1 squad mate's gone. Poor decision, earned him nothing, and it's going to cost him. Unfortunately, I'm unable to kill the squad, but still, again, losing time, retreating, losing a squad mate. These are all big takeaways from that fight. Free MG team for my troops here. And what I have here is my crews repairing my M20. Something I really, really like about the U.S. forces is their, you can disembark your crews, you can repair your vehicles, and this allows me to do some things with my rear echelon squad. I don't know if you noticed, but at the bottom right, in the bottom left, the mini map, you can see one of my blue dots, a squad, moving up to cap this Vic point. Obviously, in this fight that I'm currently winning in the south, he's still winning the game because he's draining my tickets. However, to put an end to this, he has no presence at all on the left side of the map. Neither the center. So I'm going to capitalize on that, send these rear echelon troops just to capture this point, just so I alleviate some ticket drain and start pushing the game in the other direction. Meanwhile, he's going to assault this sector again, and we'll see what happens. So you can see back in my base I'm producing an MG to hold this position, as well as another rifleman squad for more fighters. My M20's fixed up to full health. They have a pretty nice flanking spot to lay down some fire. These lieutenants, however, lieutenant squad is getting hit really hard, so we'll see what happens. He starts pushing up with the clump. However, his clump is going to cost him now. That mortar almost took out 2 squads. It's going to take out 1 squad member from there. Lieutenants are getting hit hard, but not hard enough to kill them. I'm going to retreat to reinforce them. Meanwhile, these riflemen can take their spots. Risky push, but again, this clumping is going to cost him. You're going to see right here. Grenade goes off, gets good damage on those squads. However, maybe it was a good idea to retreat these riflemen, but we'll see what happens.
HMG squad ready for action.
Sadly for me, I lose my rifleman squad, being kind of sloppy with them again when I should have retreated them. However, I'm still winning this fight and holding them off holding off 5 infantry squads with only 2, a mortar, and an M20. Mortar hits, takes out nearly an entire squad. There's one guy like left right there. Panzerfaust is being pulled out. M20 is hit but not down. Meanwhile, these squads are just getting chewed up by my fire here. They're going to retreat. Overall, the only gains he made from that were just killing one rifleman squad. But besides that, getting hit really hard. And in this fight, the net manpower loss is greater for him than me. So he lost more manpower than I did. He also lost time. On the same token, you know, pushing up with 4 squads like that was a mistake when he could have one squad here just defending it. But he doesn't, so I'm able to capture my rear echelons. Ticket Drain is starting to go his direction. You can see this game is starting to come together for me. And I'm going to use this momentum to keep pushing forward.
Boys, you ready to roll out?
These mortars are definitely like a key part of this game so far. 9 kills, doing great damage. Sorry for that interruption. Had someone, there was some background noise in the commentary. But anyway, we're going to resume here. Looks like I'm capping this side of the map again. He's not sending any opposition here. This is free real estate, really, with these rear echelon squads coming into cap. And on the right side here, I'm just starting to build up again. M20 utility car is basically full health again, repaired back. Lieutenant squad is healthy. And meanwhile, at my base, I have my rifleman squad that just finished. And I'm going to start sending them this way. Now that I have a decent foothold on this side of the map, I'm going to start leaving it and start expanding. This rifleman squad is going to start heading to this area. Rear echelon is going to stay there. And this machine gun crew that I made is going to be protecting this right side of the map. Firing back at his infantry gun here. Dealing good damage on that. And just one thing with mortars is, you know, they don't cost munitions to shoot, right? So just, honestly, whenever you can, just barrage. Like, it's free. You can land some free damage on your opponent. Like, if your mortars are not doing anything, just keep them shooting. It's just one thing I like to do a lot. It's also good for scouting. You can find enemy positions where you think they'll be hiding. And when the mortar hits, it'll reveal their spot. M20 utility car is back to full health. Send my rifles here to protect my rear echelon. Now you can see he's sending his entire horde, entire clump to the left side of the map. Hopefully he can recap what he lost here. You know, I'm not moving this squad at all, but I'm starting to get this side situated. M20 utility car is moving. And this looks like bad news for my riflemen. They should have been retreated a long time ago. Yeah, so I'm going to retreat these 2 forces just to get them out of there. No reason to stay. Sending in my mortars, my ambulance, just moving my army that direction. M20 utility car. I'm going to start getting some mortars tossed at him. Just so I can if I can get some long range free kills. M20 utility car. Lieutenant throws a grenade. Good nade placement. As what this did is, obviously it did good damage on the squad, but he was moving in to take this cover. He saw the nade. He starts microing backwards to not take it. One thing about grenades is, even if they don't kill any infantry, they're still useful, as what they do is they force your opponents out of cover. They force your opponents to move their infantry, which means their infantry become really inaccurate when they shoot, because when you're moving, the infantry are not as accurate. One thing to always remember. So nades are very powerful, and that nade basically won me this fight. 2 squads against 1 squad and 1 vehicle. I took no losses, as you can see, and I'm sending 1 back to base, and these guys are about to, you know, move backwards a little bit. So good little trade there. I'm gonna send the M20 to flank. M20s are really nice because you can send them up close and personal, get some free damage off. Notice how he's shooting at my M20 and not my lieutenants. The M20 handles small arms a lot better than my rifleman. Nade is thrown, doesn't do that much damage. See, now he's now upgraded to Panzer Shreks because he has. I have my vehicles here. I'm gonna smoke so he can't shoot my M20. I have my captain squad coming for reinforcements. Good nade there to zone him off the wall, just so he can't get into cover. He has to keep moving. Mortar's gonna hit, kill one squad member of that squad. Also, I'm forcing him out of cover. Again, another poor decision here. He really wants to cap this point that bad that he will move his troops out of green cover into this neutral cover, probably even red because it's a road. And just poor decision on his part. And he's gonna end up paying for it. This squad is gonna retreat, and again, holding off three squads actually. With only 2 infantry, I've lost 1 man this entire time. My ambulance is right there. Again, effectively, I didn't lose anything here. Just a bit of manpower. These Panzer Grenadiers are coming to get some shots off my ambulance. Luckily, they missed. I'm able to reposition the ambulance. MG is still there. But no issues. I have my mortar here and my M20. Another rifleman squad comes to join in the fight. And MG squad is sent back to base. Overall, this game is starting to go in my favor. I'm starting to get a foothold on all 3 sectors of the map. Starting to get the game back. Building up a pretty decent sized force. Built an AT gun just because I expected him to roll out with some light armor, but I guess nothing yet. So this thing will be pretty useless for the moment, but later on it'll come in handy. Lieutenants are skirmishing with the pioneers here. At his base, he's just repairing his clump, getting things back together. His army is still bigger than mine and still scarier, but the way I've been microing things and handling it, I've been able to win fights. Neutralize his Vic point. I am no longer suffering ticket bleed. He is. Again, good steps to get this game back. Ticket deficit is decreasing. Things are just going in a better direction for me. Despite having really catastrophic losses early game, with the 2 rifleman squads getting killed, but we've obviously we've recovered from that, and now it's improving. Looks like his squads are done and they're moving out. Sends this very large horde to the bottom right. All I have there is my MG crew. These guys can buy a bit of time and defend off, but again, silly not to retreat him, as he can definitely take care of this 50 cal squad. You'll see how I suffer for my mistake later on, but should have retreated these guys, but I didn't. I thought they could hold them off, but obviously you'll see that's not true. Trying to flank my units. This AT gun is probably going to lose some troops. Yeah, this MG is getting clobbered. And that MG is going to go. Poor decisions on my part. AT gun taking some shots. Meanwhile, my guys on this side of the map are going to come to the middle. There goes my MG team. Silly decision not to retreat them. Gonna send my riflemen up there to square off with these guys. Mortars are getting closer. Nade goes off. Rifleman squad here is in big trouble. Gonna send the utility car in. The utility car takes heavy damage. And there it goes again. 2 poor pushes on my part. Sent in this M20 car literally right in front of everyone. And he's taken out by the Panzer Shreks. I think it was a Panzer Faust that finished him off. Really poor decision here to send them all to the front. I could have sent this M20 down the road. He could have, drove around this way, shot at the MG, shot at there, but instead I sent it to the front. Another thing with light vehicles, use their speed to your advantage. Start flanking with them. Don't ever send them head on like I did, because obviously they have light armor and they're not very resistant to things. These squad, they're getting hit hard. Mortar's going to offer support. Lieutenant throws a nade. He splits his military force, retreats 1/2, keeps these guys there. I'm gonna start retreating these guys closer to the ambulance. Meanwhile, I have not done anything with this captain squad. What I'm doing here is I'm just gonna start capping these 3 points, because obviously his entire army is right here. He's not gonna win this fight. I have my ambulance there. I have my mortar half track. However, mortar half track could go down. Major is here. Poor decision here to retreat this force. I don't know why he did. He could have easily killed the AT gun crew, could have been killed. The ambulance crew could have been severely damaged. He could have chased this a little bit, probably killed that, killed these squads, but he retreated, and obviously he let me keep my army. This was just a bad decision on his part, a bit of luck for me, and that's going to keep me alive in the center a bit longer. He still has not capped the bottom right. He's still draining tickets. That deficit has decreased to almost where it's even. Early game it was over 100 points. Now it's almost equal. So I've made very large strides in coming back. His MG team is still there. Machine gun teams are not infantry. They are support units or defense units. You do not send them alone to fight infantry. I don't know why he's sending these here, what he's going to achieve. I have my mortars over there, albeit they're a bit wounded. They're going to have to repair, but like this is just another poor decision here. Gonna send these 2 guys back to repair this. Captain squad making huge captures and gains here. I almost have the left side of the map on my side. I'm just going to continue to take that territory from him, which is, he's not defending any of it. I'm just going to capitalize on it. MG team doesn't do anything. I'm going to call in artillery on him, the major's artillery. It's going to force a retreat. Maybe a waste of the munitions, but still, he's retreating. That buys him more time to repair things and get things situated. So yeah, this game is starting to go in the right direction. Set up my retreat point here. This is going to be like my base of operations for now. But I still need to repair my infantry force. I only have 2 fighting squads. He's going to start capping the right side of the map. Finally, Kubelwagen, 3 infantry squads. I'm going to let him have that for now. Shooting my mortars over there. Obviously, like, if you look at the Fog of War... Wait, oh, 1 second there. Wrong button. Fog of War. Let me see here. Where did the mortar half track go? Right there, okay. So... Fog of War, I can't see anything over here. But again, I'm doing the pre-firing mortars because this is right outside his base. If he's going to send squads to attack, he might send them out of his base this way. Maybe go around this way to flank. That's why I'm pre-shooting it, just to see if I can get some easy picks. Another pre-shooting done by me there. We're going to resume here. Turn off the Fog of War. He's just peppering me with his support gun. Not really getting anything, but still good to pre-shoot like I've been doing. Sends his clump this direction. Captain squad up there. Now he's really pushing my right side of the map. He's getting really close to my base. However, we've basically traded positions because he's capping this, I'm capping this portion, so it's kind of like just trading things. He's going to set up his big army here. Captain squad hasn't reacted. Over here, I'm going to set up my MGs and my lieutenant. Poor decision there not to micro my lieutenant squad. Luckily, they're still alive. I'm gonna repair them or reinforce them at the ambulance. Over here, Captain squad's getting hit really hard. New Rifleman squad just joined the fight. I have my MG team as well. Gonna start reinforcing here. Mortars are getting ranked up again. They're getting good hits. Now this will turn the tide of the game. As you can see here, I have just constructed the M4A376 Sherman. This is from the Mechanized Company. Takes the normal Sherman, upgrades it with a bigger gun. Just one of my favorite tanks in the game. I'm going to start using this to bully him around the map. And it'll make a huge difference in fights. We're going to resume here. Getting hit here by support weapons. Lieutenant squad's almost back to full health. AT gun is set up. I'm going to use the Sherman to do some bullying here, force these guys out of there, and do some flanking with this rifleman squad. Those guys are on the retreat. Meanwhile, on the bottom right side, MG team is squaring off here. They're going to win this fight, no problem. And I'm going to start pushing the right side of the map again and start taking back what is mine. Notice the ticket deficit has, I now have the lead. So good momentum to keep pushing. Sherman here, getting the 50 caliber machine gun upgrade. Very, very nice against infantry. This MG team is just going to retreat. Good decision by him here. Doesn't stand a chance. I'm going to start capping this side of the map. Not much opposition. Lieutenant squad's capping the Vic point. Riflemen are going to reposition so they don't get hit by the support weapon.
Down to 300.
Again, still anyone's game. Machine gun team capping this point. Looks like he took my MG squad and set it up over there. Good decision by him. Vic point is capped. He's now draining tickets again. Moving up the mortar half track. So far it's silent. His entire army is in his base. When, as you can see, most of these squads are reinforced. Again, this is just silly because he's waiting for all of them to be reinforced instead of sending them out to be used. And this is just an army not being used at all. He builds the Koenigstiger. Very, very heavy armor. Something I'm going to have to learn to play around because this is a dangerous tank. It can lay waste to my Sherman. But we'll see how I play this. Luckily, my Sherman survives this game. Actually, the entire game. You'll see it at the end of the game. And the Koenigstiger starts pushing up. Takes care of my lieutenant squad. But I've capped this point next to his base, so I haven't pushed up. Sends in his entire blob in one direction. Notice how there's no infantry support on the tank. I think it's a poor decision. These guys are literally clumped up. Easy pickings for my mortar squad. Keep in mind I also have the major here. He has his artillery barrage ability. So, again, he's playing this poorly. We'll see what happens. AT gun's in trouble here. Gonna retreat it back a tiny bit. Actually, no. Poor decision. I should have reversed it instead of just parked it there. Gonna end up losing the crew to this massive clump, but this crew is just getting destroyed. That's the major's artillery barrage. Retreats his entire army. Poor decision because he could have just moved out of the way and capped the point really, but I don't know what he's doing really. Shot goes off from the tank. This AT gun's set up perfectly to start shooting at it. We'll see what happens. Koenigstiger starts retreating. AT gun set up using the AP ammo ability. I'm gonna send this Sherman around, take care of this support team that's been bothering my units. Koenigstiger is getting hit pretty hard by his AT gun. He's going to be out of commission for a little bit. MG team here, no reason for them really. They're just there to, you know, I guess take damage from me. I'm going to set up an MG team in the house. Good position as he usually pushes from this direction or this direction right into the cone. Support weapon is shooting at me. Where is it? Over there. So far, I still have this game not in the bag, but like I have the lead here, a comfortable lead too. Actually, not very comfortable, but again, this momentum that I just keeping it going, keeping these squads replenished. Decent amount of support weapons to take care of the Koenigstiger. I recruited my AT gun, so I'm ready for the Koenigstiger to come back. So we'll see what happens with this next push. Again, sending all his infantry in one direction. This is just Honestly, it's not the worst decision, but the thing is, though, if he pushes them together and keeps them like this, poor decision. Obviously, you've heard many commentators and company heroes say just clumping is bad, and people do it anyway. It is not a good mechanic. By sending all of his troops this way, there's no flanking, there's no surprise attacks, there's no like unpredictability. By sending your entire army this direction, you're predictable. Your opponent knows where all of your troops are, or most of them, and it's just that's like easy intelligence for them. Like if you send your army all in one direction, you really do a favor to your opponent because they know where all your troops are and they don't really have to position for flanks or ambushes. They can just focus all on the spot. Sherman's going to start going this direction. I'm going to send my rear echelons back to cap this sector, but there's an MG team there. I'm going to send the Sherman here to just take care of this MG team real quick so I can cap this right side and maintain the ticket, because obviously he's going to cap this side of the map. I'm trying to cap this side so I don't lose tickets. Koenigstiger's coming up, getting hit very hard by my AT gun crews. Almost goes down. MG team here, turn in that direction, just suppressing these Panzer Stern Pioneers. They're going to retreat. Kuhlwagen's going to retreat. Only thing he really gains here is just this side of the map, but we'll see how long that lasts for. Meanwhile, over here, I've capped this side of the map. I'm going to start capping more with the rear echelons. Tank is now able to push back and hold my infantry. Lieutenant squad is pinned down. Riflemen are going to go in and help him out. MG team retreats. Pretty solid. They took out one guy, heavily wounded the others. Gonna retreat that squad. Gonna start capping this side of the map. Took my MG team out just to heal them up. This Sherman's gonna help with this fight here. Yeah, he's gonna retreat. Good idea by him. Overall, I'm winning all these engagements despite having a smaller infantry force, a smaller army, really. Just kind of 2-3 infantry squads, an MG, and a mortar. But they're all well placed and all thought out. So that's really what makes the difference. You have this massive horde of infantry, elite infantry too, and they're not able to make any gains just because of just poor decisions on his part. Looks like he's sending his troops the other direction. Good idea to change things up. Due to the Schwer, I have not been able to cap any of these points. Again, I'm going to commend him here. Good placement. It's really kept this side of the map has been guaranteed for him, so that's really nice. Koenigstiger is rolling out. Notice how it's going the exact same route yet again where I had my AT guns positioned. Obviously my AT guns are over there because I expected his Koenigstiger to go this way because I actually heard it through the fog of war. I expected to go this way, but I guess it's not going to. But still, luckily for me, he sends it down the same exact route, and you notice what's going to happen here. These AT guns are there. They can move this way while he moves this way. My Sherman can come and flank, and that's free shots on his side armor, which is weaker than the front armor. There's going to be a good push on his Koenigstiger coming up soon. Sends his infantry down here. He's going to take the right side of the map there. Koenigstiger is pushing down. Perfect. I see this clumsy, sloppy push by him. Very just dumb idea to push this far. I don't think he knows I have 2 Shermans. Maybe he thinks that's one there, but I've accumulated another Sherman tank just to improve my armor capabilities. So he's going to start shooting at this Sherman, doing really good damage on it. He gets confident, sits there a bit longer. But look, the flanking team has come. They're going to get free damage off, heavy damage on this tank. Good damage. This Koenigstiger almost goes down. I'm going to start chasing it with the Sherman. Sends his Kuhlwagen in to die. Koenigstiger does not go down, but again, Dumb push by him. He's just going to spend another 10 minutes repairing it in his base. That Koenigstiger is out of combat for a good amount of time. It's going to cap the right side of the map. Good decision on his part, just to alleviate some of the ticket loss. But again, this snowball of ticket losses just keeps rolling and keeps picking up steam as I continue to hold this side of the map. Recovering from my previous push, going to repair the Shermans and get ready for his next one. Looks like he's going to assault my position from this area. MG team is sitting there. I'm going to set him up. Should have retreated this MG team. No reason to leave him there. They're not going to get anything done. That's an MG team down. No issues there for him. Dumb push by me. Notice how I have positioned my AT guns. AT guns will lay waste to a Schwer if you give him a bit of time just to zero in on them and just start shooting and going to town. Once I get rid of the Schwer, I can start pushing this side of the map. That's what's going on there. Meanwhile, I have my weapons facing this direction. He's got pretty decent force coming in. I'm going to send in this lieutenant squad. Very effective flank, as you can see. Forces him to move his MG team. I'm going to... Obviously, however, this lieutenant squad almost dies. Pretty risky push, but good, because I made his MG retreat. Over here, Schwer goes down. They're shooting at the Koenigstiger again, but these guys could go down. With infantry, are they going to survive? One dies. These guys are going to survive, most likely. Sherman tank is fighting these guys, but obviously can't compete against those Panzer Schrecks. Nade forces him to retreat. Have my two Shermans positioned. AT gun. This Koenigstiger, mistake, very big mistake not to retreat it. He's going to push forward with it. I'm going to smoke there so he can't see this Sherman. This Sherman's going to go around. There's no more Schwer, by the way, so I'm able to push far with my Shermans. Getting flank shots off. And again, half damage done on that Koenigstiger, forcing him to retreat. However, he almost kills this Sherman. Luckily, the Sherman survives. Throwing in some safety smoke just to escape. Now his clump is coming back with a vengeance. Again, heavy clumps. Big mistake, but I guess that's the way he plays. So we're going to see another push here from OKW. Way bigger force than what I have, but again, I will be able to hold him off because of this clumping. Sherman is going to shoot at him. This Sherman's going to sit here out of the combat. Going to call in the Major's artillery just to kind of like zone him off. You have an MG team. Going to set up right there. Perfect suppression of this entire force. Nade's going to blow up, kill Benny. Again, this clump is just taken care of easily. Big army. These units are definitely not weak by any means, but again, poor usage. Clumps will lose you games, people. Like, this is... I see the reason he lost this game. Spoiler alert, by the way. But the reason he lost is just these clumps are predictable, easy to kill with support weapons, and just... they're costing him so much manpower just and time. Another double whammy here, killing two birds at once, and I'm going to recap this point, and I'm going to repair my Sherman, get it ready for the next engagement. And this game is starting to wind down, so to choke him out of 83 more tickets here. Looks like I have this in the bag, but again, we'll see what he pulls out here. Going to recap the center here. Sherman's ready for that Koenigstiger. You can hear it in the fog of war. AT gun's going to get replenished. Mortar half-track over here. Alive the whole game. 22 kills. Good work. Koenigstiger is going around this direction. Should have retreated these guys right off the bat. Probably going to lose that MG crew. Meanwhile, over here, these guys are just getting torn to bits. MG team lost because of a poor decision. Looks like he's going to get a hold of the left side. I'm going to call in the Major's artillery, kind of deter him from over there. Very, very poor decision. These things have better range than that. I don't know why you put it so far forward. Gonna send back out a squad of infantry. These guys are gonna go down defending it. Looks like I'm gonna lose the left for a little bit, but again, these mortars are really taking out this infantry. The Shermans are coming in. Now you can kind of predict what's gonna happen here. This Königstiger made a very dumb decision to push this direction. If he wanted to push the left side of the map, what he should have done is come this way and then come around the back straight down here. What this does is, one, the front armor is facing the entire section of my advance. But instead, he pushed the same exact route he's been the entire game this way. That way, his front armor is facing like, what, a rifleman squad that can't do anything in the first place. Rear armor, a big juicy target for my two Shermans that are going to come and flank. These Shermans have no opposition to them. This is a free kill. Shots are going off, hitting the rear. Shermans using their fast speed to flank. 2 more shots in the rear. Looks like he's almost dead. 1 more shot here. And that Königstiger is history. These heavy tanks, they're strong. Don't get me wrong. They're great, you know, tools of war, but that push cost him an entire tank, a heavy tank, a lot of fuel, a lot of manpower down the drain, just like that, because of a clumsy push. These guys are going to escape scot-free. And again, before you just send your troops right-clicking them off to fight, be aware of where they're going, be aware of the fact that, you know, your opponent has 3 Shermans. Again, poor decision to leave the rear armor facing my advance. So we're going to... Game's coming into an end here. Sherman's getting hit really hard by Panzerfausts, but not going to lose. These 2 rifleman squads, or 2 Volksgrenadiers, are going to retreat. These Shermans, very strong fighting force. I've accumulated these many tanks, and they're... However, another Königstiger just magically appears in typical Axis fashion, sending in a lot of infantry. As you can see, I kind of don't have anything to deal with this. Just 3 tanks. These tanks are going to get hit by this AT. As you can see, this push, he's probably going to retake the center here. But what he doesn't realize, maybe he does, is there's only 20 tickets left. And again, tickets are important is because no matter how big your army is, if you don't have time to cap all the points, consider the game over. I'm going to send my riflemen here just to cap, just to maintain that ticket burn. At this point, I'm not so concerned as killing his army as just holding the line here no matter what. So these tanks will probably go down. But these guys are still holding them off. Going to send the captain, the major's artillery down. Going to retreat the Shermans. He's going to go in a push towards them and try to kill them. Lieutenant squad comes in. Poor placement of my mortar half-track, but again, it looks like this game's over anyway. He's not going to cap the center. This squad is still capped. We're going to maintain the center here. Tickets are slowly dwindling down, even though he killed my mortar half-track. Looks like he's about to kill my Sherman. Yeah, poor, again, bad decision to move him around that way, but it doesn't matter. I may have lost 2 out of 3 of my Shermans, but this game is over just because he's out of tickets. The time is dwindled down. AT gun's gonna shoot a little bit there. As you can see, most of my army is dead. I have a Sherman, I have a rifleman squad, I have a major, and an AT gun, and that's it. I had 2 riflemen coming on the way, but it doesn't matter, again, because tickets are gone. He may have eliminated my entire defense force, but by then, he had run out of time, and this game is going to end in my favor. This Königstiger almost dies again due to clumsy pushes, but see, he's sending in his support up and trying to capture the center because he now realizes that these tickets are gone. But again, he ran out of time, and I was able to take the victory. Thank you guys for tuning in, for watching this long game. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully my commentary provided some insight. Maybe you learned something new. Thanks for watching. Again, tune into Yalta Boys. We're going to be posting some more replays soon. like, subscribe, you know, comment below what you liked, what you didn't like. It's my first time commentating something, so if it was a bit awkward or a bit of stuttering there, I apologize. Bear with me as I learn how to commentate and talk about the game. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. That's all for today.